Thursday. We are 4 days away from the big show, the Oscars. And this is the video that you have been waiting for. What movies, what people are going to walk away winners at the Oscars this year? Trust me, last night I was doing my homework. I was going over this list. I wrote out everything, made my predictions. I feel confident in them. I really, really do. So let's talk about it. It's going to be a few minutes. Grab a drink, grab a little snack, a little nuts, maybe a little popcorn, and let's talk about the nominees and who is going to walk away a winner on Sunday. And if it's your first time clicking on the channel, thank you so much. And if you love movie content and awards like I do, you're going to want to click that red subscribe down below because you don't want to miss anything. Plus my live reaction on Sunday. There might be costumes involved. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You're not going to want to miss it. All right, let's talk about it. Now, I'm going to go over every category. I normally don't do that, but for the Oscars, I will. I'm not doing documentary or short feature films or anything like that because I've never seen any of them. I don't feel comfortable just saying something. I like to be invested in what I'm talking about. I don't have enough knowledge about those categories. So those are going to be put to the side. Everything else I'm going to discuss. So I'm going to say who's nominated and then go over who I think is going to win. Let's start with the biggest prize, Best Picture. So we have Ford v. Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. I think it's between three films. 1917, Parasite, or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood could squeak in there because, as we know, Hollywood loves themselves. They love stories about their city. So I wouldn't be surprised if people gravitated towards that. However, I think it's going to be 1917. It just did a clean sweep at the BAFTAs. It won 7 awards. It won Best Film. It won Best British Film. People are loving this film. They can't get enough. If enough members of the Academy vote, it's going to go to 1917. Best Director, we have Martin Scorsese, Quentin Tarantino, Sam Mendes, Bong Joon-ho, and Todd Phillips. I am going with Sam Mendes for 1917 because he's been sweeping. He's been pretty much winning every director category, but I would look out for Bong Joon-ho because they did tie at the Critics' Choice Awards. It could happen. Bong Joon-ho could take it away. You never know. I don't think it'll happen. I'm pretty sure Sam Mendes is a lock at this point, but you never know. The 4 categories that I'm absolutely sure about, I'm hoping, are the acting categories. Every single award show, it's been the same 4 winners. No surprises, no diversion. So let's go over them really quickly. Best Supporting Actress, Kathy Bates, Laura Dern, Scarlett Johansson, Florence Pugh, or Margot Robbie. It's going to Laura Dern. Best Supporting Actor, Tom Hanks, Anthony Hopkins, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Brad Pitt. It's going to Brad Pitt. Best Actress, Cynthia Erivo, Scarlett Johansson, Saoirse Ronan, Charlize Theron, Renee Zellweger. It's going to Renee Zellweger. Best Actor, Antonio Banderas, Leonardo DiCaprio, Adam Driver, Joaquin Phoenix, or Jonathan Pryce. It's going to Joaquin Phoenix. If it doesn't, I might riot. I don't know. I might riot. I might go into the streets and break windows. I have no idea, but anyway. Best Animated Feature. Now we're getting into the categories that are really up in the air. They could go either way. So we have How to Train Your Dragon, I Lost My Body, Klaus, Missing Link, and Toy Story 4. Even though I really want Toy Story 4 to win, it only won, I think, 1 award. Missing Link took it at the Golden Globes, and then Klaus won twice. I'm going with Klaus. It's at the forefront of everyone's mind. It won at the BAFTAs. I just think it's going to take it. I really do, which is a shame because Toy Story 4, it looks brilliant, but I think it's going to be Klaus. Cinematography, we have The Irishman, Joker, The Lighthouse, 1917, or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's 1917. This is without a doubt, no question, the one continuous shot. I mean, it's all anyone's talking about, and that's what cinematography is. So 1917, if it doesn't walk away with cinematography, I will be shocked, absolutely dead on the floor shocked. Costume design. The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I'm torn between two, either Little Women or Jojo Rabbit. I'm going with Little Women because those costumes were so elaborate. They had to be, the colors, they're accurate to the time period, and how many had to be made. It was absolutely insane. So that's a lot of work. It deserves to be recognized. I'm going with costume design for Little Women. Editing, Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, and Parasite. I feel like this is the only award Ford v Ferrari is going to win, so I'm picking Ford v Ferrari. I feel like in car movies and racing films, editing is very complicated, so that sounds good, right? I don't have experience in the editing field, clearly from these videos. What can I say? I'm a one-take kind of girl. Moving on. All right, international feature film. Do we even have to talk about this? It's going to be Parasite, but let's go over it anyway. Corpus Christi, Honeyland, Les Miserables, Pain and Glory, and Parasite. If this film is being talked about actually winning Best Picture, it's going to win International Film. This is the Roma of this year. It is Parasite. It is going to win. Guaranteed, hands down, no question. Makeup and hairstyling, we have Bombshell, Joker, Judy, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and 1917. It's going to be Bombshell. Absolutely. The way that they made those actors look like the actual people, especially Charlize Theron, having her transform her face to look exactly like Megyn Kelly, was absolutely incredible. It's going to be Bombshell. Original score, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, or Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. It's going to be Joker. I am so sure about this, hands down. That score was absolutely amazing. It was haunting. It gave chills throughout my entire body sometimes. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Original song, Toy Story 4, I Can't Let You Throw Yourself Away, Rocket Man, I'm Gonna Love Me Again, Breakthrough, I'm Standing With You, Frozen 2, Into the Unknown, and Harriet, Stand Up. I'm gonna predict Rocket Man. I feel like, I don't know if Elton John has an Oscar for Best Original Song, so I feel like the Academy is gonna want to give it to Elton John. They're gonna want that moment of Elton John and Bernie Taupin up on stage together. Yeah, I just feel they're gonna give it to Elton John. Rocket Man, absolutely. Production design, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. This is a very difficult category. I was torn between Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and Parasite because they had to reconstruct Hollywood Boulevard to make it look like 1969. And then Parasite, you had the two houses, the rich house and the poor house, and you had to be able to depict, I mean, it was so incredible. All of them are incredible this year. It's so hard to choose, but those were my two. I went with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I mean, reconstructing a city, I mean, that's pretty incredible, especially one of the busiest streets of traffic. I mean, we're talking like, Times Square, major traffic. But Hollywood Boulevard, absolutely incredible to make it transform back into 1969. So I'm going with Hollywood, guaranteed. Sound editing, Ford v Ferrari, Joker, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. I'm going with 1917. And you know what? It's a blatant guess because I'm really not experienced in sound, mixing, and editing. I actually had to look it up, the definitions between the two. What's the difference? I'm just going to go with 1917. Sound mixing, Ad Astra, Ford v Ferrari, Joker, 1917, or Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Again, I'm just going to say 1917. However, my gut is telling me it might be Ad Astra, like as a surprise, because I feel like the awards, well, if something is nominated once, it's going to win for that because we want to give everyone a piece of the pie. You never know. Visual effects. Avengers Endgame, The Irishman, The Lion King, 1917, or Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. I'm going with Avengers Endgame. I am, because I'm loyal to my Marvel people. It's their one nomination. I mean, they were pretty incredible. I'm not just gonna give it to a movie for no reason. It was absolutely amazing to look at, and I think it's deserving of the win. So, Avengers Endgame. Now comes two complicated categories. I feel like the screenplay categories is where we are going to get surprised. Adapted screenplay: The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, or The Two Popes. This is between Little Women and Jojo Rabbit. Jojo Rabbit just won this category at the BAFTAs. However, everyone's just assuming that Greta Gerwig is going to win it for Little Women because she didn't get the nomination in the directing category. So let's give her an Oscar for adapted screenplay. Honestly, in my opinion, I'm going with Jojo Rabbit. I'm going with Taika Waititi. He just won it at the BAFTAs. And that film, like I've said before, is such a sensitive subject and topic, but yet he wrote it in such a way where it's also funny. As weird as that is to say, but it's riding that fine line of being totally inappropriate and wow, this is really good. That's his writing, and that's where I'm going. I mean, that just deserves the win to me. Original screenplay: Knives Out, Marriage Story, 1917, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and Parasite. This was very difficult for me. Again, I was going back and forth between Parasite and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Parasite just won in this category at the BAFTAs. However, the Academy loves Quentin Tarantino's writing. They have given it to him twice before for Django Unchained and Pulp Fiction. I'm going with Quentin Tarantino for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I just feel like they're going to give it to him. I don't know. I'm probably wrong, but I'm going to go with my guess. Those are my predictions of what is going to happen on Sunday. Let me know in the comments down below. What are your predictions? I am so excited, you guys. I have a lot of juicy things planned for the live reaction. I hope you guys tune in. I'm so excited for this award show. It is really going to be, besides the acting categories, this show is going to be full of surprises, I feel. It's anyone's game. That's what makes it exciting, and that's what makes me so happy and joyful to cover this and watch the award show. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe and like and comment down below. And as always, I'll see you at the movies and I'll see you on Sunday.